Hello and good morning students. Today in this video we are going to discuss about a chapter. That chapter name is light. Okay. Light is one of the most important chapter of physics, and in this video we will cover the introduction part of this chapter. Okay. To understand the concept of light, students, we are taking example and in examples. Suppose we have two rooms. Okay, in room first, it is room first and it is second. Room first contains light and room second does not contain light, or here no light. And if any person enters in room number 2, here objects is not visible. Objects is not visible. But when this person entered in room number 1, here objects is visible. Okay, so now question arises, why in room number 2 objects is not visible, and why in room number 1 objects is visible? So the answer is because here a invisible energy is present which is called light. Okay, so it's mean here invisible energy presents which is called light. Why it is invisible? So these things we will discuss here later. So in room number 1, invisible energy presents, by this we are able to see the objects, and in room number 2 no invisible lights are present, so we are not able to see the objects, and that invisible energy by which we are able to see known as light. Okay, how this invisible energy makes objects is visible? Okay, how this invisible energy makes objects is visible? So to get this answer, when it falls, when invisible lights, okay, we are going to discuss about the invisible lights, how makes objects visible. So invisible lights makes objects visible when it falls on object we really do not to see. Okay, so here one question again arises, because one time I state that by the help of invisible energy here objects is visible, and here what I am saying, that when invisible energy fallen on any objects we are not able to see. So how we are able to see? So we are able to see, okay, when invisible energy energy fallen on objects, fallen on objects, it again reflect. When invisible energy fallen on objects, it diffuse from here and enter in our eye, and enter in our eye. Okay. Okay, eye drawing is not very good, so only you considered it. It is eye. Okay. So invisible energy fallen on objects, and after that it reflected and enter in our eye. Eye is known as our sensory organ, and this sensory organ just sense the light and send the message to the brain. Send message to the brain, and brain is the king of body. You know, that's each and everyone known as brain is the king of body. Okay. So only it sense. Okay, it sends the light and send to the message of brain, and brain finally with feels, yeah, or which sees the objects. So who don't see the objects? So only brain finally sees the objects by the help of two things. Which two things? By the help of eye and by the help of invisible energy. So this invisible energy always fallen on objects, that from that objects this energy again bounce and enter in our eyes, and eyes send the message to the brain, and finally brain see the objects. Okay. Okay, so which part we discuss? So to see any objects we want invisible energy. Invisible energy always fallen on objects. When it fallen on objects, it again it's okay. See this, invisible energy always on object, and from objects it again reflect and just enter in our eyes. Our eyes send the message to brain, and brain finally see the objects. So when any light fallen on objects and again reflected, this process is known as diffusion of light. Diffusion of light. Okay, so now we have this previous knowledge, and now we have some little bit knowledge related to light, and now we are going to write the definition of light. Okay. So definition is, in the definition of light we have 2 or 3 points which we already discussed. Light is an invisible energy which causes in us sensation. How sensation? Because invisible lights fallen on objects, then these lights again turn back or reflect from here and enter in our eyes, and our eyes is a sensory organ, and by the help of this sensory organ we feel sensation of vision. Sensation of vision. Okay. So it is related to definition, and if you want to add more, then you write that when light falls on any object, it bounces off in all direction, which is called diffusion of light. Here we discuss which is called diffusion of light. Okay, so I hope you understood the concept of light. Light is not more, light is only a invisible energy that creates sensation, and when they create sensation, then we are able to see the objects by the help of our brains and eyes. Okay, so students, in the introduction only this much. Next topic we will cover in next video by the help of board. Okay.